I have two ways of presenting things, like my professors at Caltech. They provide lots of slides and many things, but he didn't talk anything about what he prepared in the slides. I already prepared many slides, but I found that these things are already introduced in the IP and so on. I don't have to tell anything of these things to you because it's already explained by many people. I just go scan all the slides. By looking at the slides, you see what I was planning to talk, but I decided it's a waste of time now because just repeating what was written on the website. So originally, I was introduced to make a global high technology robot, digital interconnection, real-time control and processing. But we had lots of computers. One of them is Tony Morayan. He was a competitor of the microprocessors. I used to work in Sony. Because our set division people decided to use Hitachi etch machines. They don't want to use my machine. So I got jobless because of him. And then I became jobless. I have to do something else. I talked to Kutaragi. Shall we make a Nintendo game? I want to help them. Mr. Hagiwara-san, we are already working with Nintendo game, but they tried to fire us because they wanted to use next generation semiconductor chip by US company. They don't want to use Sony because we have a low technology. So Kutaragi and I thought, what should we? We both are jobless, We cannot make computers. We cannot make game machines. So we talked to the president, Oga-san. What do we do? You'll be fired. You can go any company you want. Kutaragi-san made a company, computer, and Sony invested. So said, you are free to go any IBM or anything, Intel, you can go Kutaragi-san, but Kutaragi-san wanted to stay in Sony. I wanted to stay in Sony. I want to stay until when we get old. When you get old, we want to have a good family, big family, and we want to die in Japan, Kutaragi-san and we. I don't want to die in USA or any foreign countries. So we decided to live in Japan, and I'm 75. I'm very happy because I have 4 kids and 8, I cannot count my grandsons, 8. I have 8 grandchildren. Kutaragi-san is so happy with 2 boys and very happy life. And he's also professor of the Kansai University. And he's the head, information science head. I'm also the professor in Kyushu Island. Our president wants to become second Stanford University in Kyushu Island. Actually, I was a guy witnessed how the Intel grew. I was a Caltech student at age maybe 17 or 18. And every time two guys disturbed our class. Whenever we want to study, 2 guys talk something about their life and their challenge. Those are the William Shockley and Gordon Moore. They are our alumni. They always visit cover meet and many professors in Caltech. They want to talk to the students, and they want to talk about their dreams for the future. They were, I shouldn't say, but they were originally from Bell Lab to Shockley Lab, and then Fairchild. But they didn't like these old guys. They want the future. At that time, Sony was doing bipolar transistors in 1950s. Sony was successful making transistor radios. And the Fairchild also making the bipolar transistors. But Gordon Moore and Carver Mead had a future. Yoshi, in the future, we need MOSs, scaling, digital. Computer needs not analog, digital. That's the way they were talking. And they were talking about scale down. At that time, we were using 2-micron design rule. One design rule was, then the contact size is almost 2 micron by 2 micron. The length of the most transistor was 2 microns or 3 microns. And we were the students, first students in college doing all the designs of digital things. And Kaba told me, Yoshi, what is the simplest logic circuit for AI? One input and one output. And what does it do? It's only compare. If the input signal is 0 or don't care or 1, it's an exclusive or digital circuit. But you need real time. So instantly, one clock, you have to compare maybe 1 million of digits with another 1 million of digits. Also 1 million of don't care registers. So you need 3 registers. And master register, don't care register, and the data coming in. And these things has to be done instantly in 1 clock. That's a real time, that's what you have, a real time. That was a concept developed by professors and my upperclassmen students. That was in 1970. So we decided to use Intel fab line, and we are the guys, we don't know anything. They told me in class, they were only teaching the digital code for the calculators for the undergraduate at that time. So we don't know it. Yoshi, why don't you study this calculator? Oh, it's simple. It's already done. Many Japanese people have done that. They have the technology. They are making calculators already. But they were doing bipolar transistor. Original digital, there is no transistor. Bipolar transistor. Bipolar technology, using capacitors and source form, and they were doing the very unstable. They cannot, capacitor is depending on the dimension of the device, area. So it's not reliable. So people in Intel, they wanted the digital. The name Intel comes intelligence, okay? It means AI. It's an AI robot. And that's very important. That's the way I learned when I was only 18-year-old boy in the second grade, second year in college. And those people are talking to this, and they want to join Intel. However, many people from Fairchild also came to our school and they say, join Fairchild. Join Intel. Those baby students don't know which one to go, but you have your own choice. So I thought going to the digital circuit. And that Gordon Moore had a future, right? At that time, bipolar transistors all made thermal diffusion technology. And Sony bipolar transistor 1950s all made of diffusion technology. But Intel used new technology of ion implantation. That's very important. In that way, by using the self-aligned source drain, Intel the guy who challenged to that process. It's very hard to make the silicon SiO2 interface. Threshold voltage control is very difficult. There are many physicists involved on that. Also, many physicists involved to make the right ion implantation. Jim Mayer, Bob Baer, and all of them are from Caltech. We were there. We were students, but undergraduate students. But the graduate student and the Professor Jim Mayer and Bob Bauer, they were working together with Intel for the new machines, new tools, and the new software, and the CAD tool too. But originally, we were making all the CAD tools from Fortran language. We used the punch card. There's someone who can lighten our burden, Then business, necessity is the mother of invention. Originally, mentor at that time. Then when I graduating the Caltech, they are using the many things because turnaround time is very important. Maybe using these old things, they work slow. But software architecture is important. A box without software is just a box, right? First, you have to figure out and finish that architecture. Silicon system is complete or not. Then you can scale down any size. Then you can make a IC operated speed up, right? But for that purpose, I found that you have the very right way. That's what we wanted. See, I want old IPs to be reused. That's important. That's the way we pile up the new things. These days, my kids and my grandchildren don't listen to me at all, Many students don't care about what has been done in the past. But I found that Synapse is very promising for the future because they use their IP properties. That's very important, They have systems. System is a boss. And then circuit and the device and them has to do teamwork. And there are only a few companies in the world survived this game. Intel, Sony, and then digital circuit, okay? With the analog circuit. And all the IPs also don't. So philosophy. Science seeks the truth. Truth many things. And this phrase was quoted from a Bible or something. It comes from the Bible. Truth, seeking for the truth in the God. Maybe I'm shocking too loud, and that will surprise. That's the way I learned how several ideas. They all publish in the this explained, but the two of them win. He predicted with the right assumptions with a new experiment. So all 100, that's a venture business. Based on another, player may have the first prize. Another young generation guy gets the first prize. This is the community which has no border. Science has no border. Olympic does not have no border. That's very important. So we don't have any boundary, These are the things I learned when I was in Caltech. It's based on the belief in you act and do whatever you believe in. Don't listen to others. So I don't listen to anyone. But anyway, to make many questions. By making questions to the professors, you make professors understand the level of your understanding. That's why professor likes lots of stupid questions. Now, I used to do lots of questions. I began to learn, and the last thing, but I witnessed how Silicon Valley grew from the beginning. And I wanted to live in Japan until I died. So I wrote all the spirit of the pioneering engineers in Sony. Sony young engineers now have Silicon Island. And many young people who used to be a student of mine now actively supporting Sony and things. In there, we found out we invited Makimoto-san from Hitachi because at that time our Sony business is winning closely to number one. Hitachi is vanishing. So we saw, no, I think so. The CEO saw. Hitachi had a Makimoto-san. He's a very good guy. So he invited to Sony. I worked for Makimoto many years, and I had a wonderful time. He always emphasized the importance of a semiconductor. I didn't know why he got the global high technology award 12 years ago, I found general. I couldn't memorize. Dr. Orion, He's the guy who recommended Makido-san 12 years ago for a global IT award. And he won the microprocessor, the MIPS and so on. Then it's a very good SH micro. That's the one, the beginning. We got job lost. Because of that, we lost the competition in microprocessors. We have to work on the new job. That was a PlayStation game machine. Also, we have to work on the idle. So I have to thank very much to Tony Morales. Give us a chance to work on the different field, which is the game machine and also PlayStation. That's the future, AI robot. All of them are connected. It's based on the digital system solution. On the basis of that, we have the semiconductor technology. It's all combined. So you have a vision. Now you are having a name, Silicon Mountain. What is Silicon Mountain? Oh, USA they have a Silicon Valley. Somehow Japanese guy, Kyushu is a Silicon Island. No, you are calling here Silicon Mountain. How USA people looking at it? I think many people are proud of that because of that. Their philosophy, the engineer spirit, spread it to Japan, made a Silicon Valley. Now you are the ones make the Silicon Mountains all the way. So we are the ones, old, retired, crazy guys. We are already gone. We have no business connection to any company now. Sony, I didn't do any Sony business work, but I still enjoy in Kumamoto City educating young fellows in Sony and so on. I have many friends. In that way, I think I can also help, as long as I live, to young people. That's very important. So we old people, so whenever I go to IEEE in France, China, South America, Singapore, or USA, I would like to take my wife together, enjoy their tours. So I want to come back to Armenia again. And finally, I would like to introduce two guys who I have very old, but we have a new generation students. One is my lady, Kikuchi Ishikawa. He's using the old machine. She doesn't know how to use Sony machine, but she didn't design that, okay? Can you how to use it? This is the old machine. She didn't design that. She designed your smartphone. She's a new generation. She doesn't know how to design this old one. I designed it when I was 40 years old. She didn't like it. This has no interconnection, okay? But this doesn't have an interconnection. But your smartphone has an internet connection. It has superb performance. This is a very, very old machine. That one is also old machine. By the time I retired, this was on the market. That was 2008. But since 2003 or 4, we have made internet connection, all connected. And that's smartphone. That's a generation, he actually taught many young generations. Young generation, the students of his teaching, her teaching, I'm sorry. Her teaching are actively doing that. But we are old, we don't know how to use smartphone or new machines. I only knew how to use this. I hate smartphones. I don't use anything. And I even don't, that's the only thing I can use. But the new generation, she's 2 generations below me. For her, even that one is useless to her, and she doesn't know how to use it, okay? She's a new generation for smartphone. Okay, it's time. That's important. I talk too much. And also, one more gentleman. Stand up. He's a Caltech alumni. He's working on the many things. He's a physician and engineer. He's also a student of Covermeet. And he knows the Japanese culture, European culture, American culture. I'm old, but these two guys can entertain you, all the young engineers. That's important, right? So I stopped talking. I'm sorry, always I have overtime. I speak too much. Thank you very much.